All right, let's talk a little bit about being on slash off grid. In the beginning, when I first got this property, I was completely off the grid. But, you know, when I moved here permanently, we had to, you know, connect to Mr. Power. But before that, I had like 14 solar panels up on the roof up here. And, I powered everything with that. But, when you start living someplace permanently, you got to have refrigerators and this and that. So, my power is fairly cheap here. Plus, I have high-speed internet out here in the middle of nowhere. It's like uh, fiber optic. It all ties into this main pole, goes across the hillside, and connects to the grid. But as far as like everything else, we're off grid here. We're out in the middle of nowhere. So let's talk about water and water storage. In this little particular unit, I hooked up a gutter here, which catches all the water off of this particular unit here. All this water comes down here, fills this barrel up. I have a tap on it. Summertime, you can use that for washing dishes, washing clothes, whatever. What I have for a filter on this particular unit, we use this water so quick that, you got to keep things cleaned out. See all that right there? That's what we caught off the roof last night. So, you want to try to keep that cleaned out. And I'll come back and I'll wrench that all out here. But we'll probably be getting some more rain. So, it's good to just keep that cleaned out. So you don't get bugs and stuff nesting in there. Of course, we don't use this for drinking or anything. But like I said, I put a shock treatment in there and with a little shock and stuff. Now, I'm getting ready to sink this double sink into this table. I got to cut it out today. This here is the homemade wash machine. We had some hail and it kind of chipped my paint up. I got to do some repainting, but the concept still works great. It's like a 55-gallon barrel, and it's got some spiders and stuff in it right now because it needs rinsed out. These little pipes in here help to agitate. So what you do is you rinse this out, fill it up with some rainwater. I got a hose that hooks onto that. Put your clothes in there, close the door, and you use this handle right here to agitate your clothes back and forth. Then there's a drain on the bottom right there. Drain it all out. Put more water in here, and you rinse them. And you hang them up on your line to dry. Or you can put them in that thing there and bring your hose and your water over there and rinse them by hand. I'm getting ready to rig this little thing up here, which I bought at a flea market, as a ringer. Right now we're ringing them by hand, but that might help out a lot once I get all this table and stuff hooked up. That's one way we wash and dry our clothes when the weather's halfway nice. And then also have a thing there where I can build a fire and heat some water in the winter time, and in some big pots to help heat with the fire and use the hot water to help clean the clothes. We got about an inch of rain last night. Let's talk about this particular unit here. This is a 295-gallon ice BC tote that's buried in the ground. It's got 12-inch dock foam around the sides, and it has this it's about 4 or 5-inch foam on the top. I have a bucket that I've cut the bottom out of. It still has the top on it, and I siliconed it to the top. So you take that lid off, then you can get down in there, and there's a lid you can screw off And right now I don't have that piped or anything. I'm getting ready to take this wooden thing down and build a frame out of these metal deals here. And it will house this, which is another rain catch saucer that I made out of some really thick rubber here. And this is an old Papasan chair. That'll be up in the air. There'll be a pipe connected right here to this little hole and glued in, and it'll run straight down into this and keep this full. This system here is strictly for my toilets. And I got to dig a trench over here this summer. And I have some pipe down here. As you can see, this pipe right here that I will be running over to here to hook up to my toilets. Right now, we're just catching water out of that other bucket I showed you, and I'm pouring it down in our toilets. These gutters here, I'm getting ready to put a small piece here. As you can see, that I'm losing a lot of water off the roof right here, and some off this edge where you see these little spiny things. And I got this other 25-gallon deal here. I'm about to make a table right here so I can put a spout on it and catch some more free water. And off of this one, I'm going to make a thing just so when I know it's raining, I can hook up and help to fill that up. So, sorry, we have the jets flying today. Now we are under construction here. Let's talk about this rain catch I got here. This is just for showering off when you're outside doing some work and you want some nice, fresh, clean water.
Sway!
This is the 35-gallon catch here. And like I said, we got about a little bit of an inch of rain yesterday or last night. And with this unit, some nice clean water out of that. There's a screen on top that catches it, directs it straight down. You got here mowing or whatever, and you want to cool off or whatever, you got some nice water to clean off with. Then we have this particular unit I'm working on, which this is a swimming pool sand filter, and I'm working on getting this bottom plumbed into this, and then the water that comes out of this will come up through this pipe into the sand filter, which I got to dig that and level it all out. Then it'll come back through this and back into the tank, which I'm getting ready to put a diverter on here so I can shut that on and off. And also I'm putting another T on here to where with the shut off, so because I'm getting ready to put another tank in the ground back here as well, another one of these. I've painted it black so algae doesn't grow in it. I left this little strip here just to kind of show, my water level. It tells you right here in liters and in gallons. This is 250 gallons here. And in that one little inch of rain or whatever we got last night, this was empty because I was working on plumbing this. I went ahead and put a bag and a little cap on there. I caught 75 gallons of water in that 1 inch of rain off of my rooftops. What that does is it goes up here, comes across to the gutter. Now, from this gutter, it goes all the way across over to here. I have a little dam or a bridge over here, right about here. And all the rest of the water that comes off this edge of the roof comes down this pipe, goes in here. This screen catches all the big stuff. And this thing's almost full. It's 55 gallons. We use this as an outdoor tub, and as you can tell, sometimes wash our clothes and use the deck as a nice clothesline. So it's living off the grid. This also has a spout on it, and the water that comes out of it's nice clean rainwater. And we can also put shock treatment in this, just like you would a swimming pool or whatever, and kill any microorganisms or bugs. On this thing, I have a first catch, or whatever you want to call it. It's this jar. What happens when it comes down, comes into this, most of the heavy sediment will settle in this, and this fills up, and the clean water goes on over and down into there. Getting ready to build a little house around this and insulate this and put a radiator heater in here when I get it all plumbed up so it doesn't freeze up in winter. And like I said, I might have a shut off here where I can shut this tank off in the wintertime and drain it if I want, and have everything going straight into the Swade! Chipmunk. Get over here now! And shut this off and keep this drained and have everything going into that tank if I want. Or if in the summer this fills up, I can leave it open and have it just straight overflow into that and have twice as much water. So this is another filtering system I'm using here. This is just a piece of screen here. Catches whatever that first catch don't catch. We're getting ready to some pantyhose on here. Like I said, you can put a chlorine puck in there like you would in a swimming pool. This comes straight out if you want. This all screws off with this. I got a sump pump I can drop down in there, pump water into buckets or straight up into the holding tanks in the house or whatever. So yeah, we're still under construction here, but we're working on it. We lost a whole lot of our tadpoles. We had millions of them. There's still some in there, but they've washed out. And the loss of frogs are everywhere at night. Tree frogs. So yeah, this is the tub. That's that. I'm getting ready to build a top over this with these. I got some metal. I'm gonna make a top over this, kind of keep some of the tree debris out of here. Then I got a little spot right there where I'm gonna hook up a separate little piece of gutter right there. The downspout that's gonna come out under the deck. That's why I haven't put any of this plastic lattice stuff under here yet. Dig a trench down here. I gotta get a liner winter when I save up some money. And I'm gonna put a liner in here. Take some of these bigger rocks, put back across here. I gotta clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna make a little swimming hole. Exotic Paradise swimming hole. And we can also filter that or whatever with this and another sand filter, and chlorinate it if we want to, and have a nice little swimming pool or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, like I said, we're under construction right now. You can tell by all the piles of stuff still. This is our collection of dock foam that we insulate stuff with. Get to doing that. You can actually take a Sawzall and cut this stuff down so it isn't so thick. You put it on boat docks to help them float. Makes it great insulation. And around the lake here, there's piles of it everywhere that you can obtain for next to nothing. So yeah, we're working on skirting this up here. I got to make a little doorway so I can get up underneath this unit. And let's see here. I was going to show you something else. We have a lot of rain this summer so far. It's like hectic to keep things mowed and everything in between the rainstorm. This is a shower bag here. kind of solar. Fill it up with like 5 gallons of water. You can buy these at Walmart. Sun will heat it up. It's clear on this side. Says that it can get up to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Makes a nice little shower bag if you want some warm water for summertime. This is one of my on-grid units. It's a refrigerator that's outside. I got 2 more in the house. Let's see. The rooftop catches all the rain. Yeah, so that works. And these are some of my solar panels, which I have little ones for different lighting systems and stuff. Antennas for communication and television. Said we're kind of out here in the middle of nowhere, which is cool. If you don't like the big city, this is my nephew's stuff over here. He's getting ready to move it all, supposedly. And he has a 1,200 gallon water tank over here that he's attempted to catch water with, and an outdoor shower house that he's used once or twice, I think. And when he moves it all, he'll probably get it hooked up better than he has it here, because it freezes in the winter time, and he needs to start thinking about how to insulate it so this tank don't bust. And then he put it under a tree for whatever reason. He catches a lot of debris in there. Has no way to really filter it other than the screen right here, which is full of stuff. And I had to drain it last week because it was a bug farm, and I don't need to be getting ate up by bugs. He hasn't really been around, so see if he starts moving things. He also had a catastrophe with his awning. We're up on a pretty good hillside here, and the wind came through and ripped it loose. But yeah, so I'm under construction, getting things done. About to move all this stuff. Oh, also in these units here, what I'm getting ready to hook up is this is a medical air oxygen unit. You know, they give them to old people back in the day. They got newer units now. I got this from the thrift store. You know, if you pump a little air into this water, keep it moving in the wintertime, you know, it's less likely to freeze, although I am going to insulate it. Keep a little air in there, keep the water moving, it's less likely to freeze. So that's a good idea for being off the grid and keeping your water from freezing in the winter, is putting some air to it or some circulation to it. So that's what's going on around here today. Just figured I'd show you a little bit of this and that, and we're going to get back to work. I got things to do, and then I think I'll go fishing again. Other than that, it's the weekend. First week of June.